Good morning, everybody. It's Lee here, our Spotlight speaker on our Just Me Concepts social media coaching. Excuse the background noise. I'm going to be very brief. Introduce Sherri. Hi, Sherri. Lovely to have you on today as our Spotlight speaker. I love your topic. I'll just quickly introduce Sherri, and then I might be looking down at times because I'm going to be looking for messages and questions on Facebook. But how we're going to run this, Sherri will introduce herself and she will share a presentation, short presentation with you. After that, we'll open up and you can ask questions live on Zoom or in the Facebook chat, which I'll be monitoring. And listen, this is mind-blowing. I just love this whole idea of a spending plan. So Sherri and Greg are parents to 5 adult children. And she was a stay-at-home mom for 27 years, and she learned how to manage money and be good at it. So she's passionate to help others eliminate money stress from our lives and make money a success with a spending plan. And I just love that whole spending. I want to spend my money. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Sherri. You can share your screen and take over now. And I'll mute myself so that the background noise doesn't come in.
Okay. Just give me a thumbs up that you hear me, Lee. Excellent. Okay. So I'm Sherri Dumbrell. I am a happy spender. These are some of the few people that I've helped become happy spenders. And when I talk about a happy spender, it's a genuine happy spender, not one who feels guilty after they've gone spending. When I spend money, I planned to spend that money. I've saved to spend that money. And so when I spend, I have zero guilt and I have a fun time spending. Okay, so this is my brood, my husband and I, Greg. This was right before COVID. We even knew about COVID. This was Christmas 2019, where we went and surprised my 80-year-old mother for her 80th. And we were doing Aussie Jingle Bells skit at our Christmas talent show. And all of them are happy spenders, hence why we got there. And so I love create memories. And I love the quote from Ronald Reagan. You know, it's so true. Depending on how you are with money will depend on the quality of your memories. And so this was a memory that was amazing because we all had a plan for our money. I love to learn and I love to teach. And so that's what I'm going to do today is teach you a little bit about me and about how you can protect your money from you. Check out my Facebook page, Happy Spenders Beyond Budgeting, because that's what I'm going to teach you and show you a little bit about today of how you can go beyond budgeting, because budgeting actually is broken and lacks vital information. Okay, so first of all, I want to tell you that if you have money stress or money problems, it's not your fault. Why? Because you were never taught in school how to manage your money. So none of us have money problems on purpose, but we can easily dollar and cents us, and with afterpays and everything, we can get into a lot of overcommitment just by little things. Oh, it's only a few dollars a week for this, or it's only a few dollars a week for that, where all your pay is going to pay for past purchases. So what I'm going to do today is teach you something that you probably don't know. You may not have heard before, so you simply don't know what you don't know. Now, you will also at the end of this, hopefully you'll have a heightened awareness about how you spend and how you can better spend your money. Financial literacy is vital, and with that, it brings quick results. Okay, first of all, you need to know where you're going. You have to have a dream or a why you want to be better with money, because if you don't, you're just going to waste your money on what you think you want and then you will complain because you don't get what you really want. So that's really important to have a goal. With all my children, there's 5 of them. I always, when they were a teenager, I always invited them and their grandparents. I said, you need to go see your grandparents, and you need to use your part-time money to save for that trip and go travel. And the reason I did that is because it gave them a goal, a reason to use their money, because, you know, most of them, they could have spent it all on McDonald's. So they would do that, and it gave them an experience early in life that if they had a plan, if they saved, then they could get whatever they want. Money and time together works really well if it's saving. Of course, that's the total opposite. So where are you going? What are your goals? If you don't have any, you need to think of one. The fact that you're listening or here is you must have some goal, even if it's just to get rid of the money stress and learn a better way to manage and organize your money. So you're in the right place. So if this person is wanting to go to the mountains, okay, they're wanting to go ski. And so to get there, they are looking out the front windscreen to get to the mountains. Now, what if they kept looking in their past the rearview mirror? Would they get to the mountains? No, probably not. They would probably crash after that first little curve. This is related to, and what I'm going to introduce today is the difference between a budget and a spending plan. A budget, a lot focuses on where you spent your money in the past, where you're going to spend it currently, you know, this pay, and also some future pays, but it focuses, you know, where did you spend it in the past? Where the money's gone, you're not going to get that money back. And I've never heard anyone say, oh, I wish I would have spent more money last month, or I wish I would have spent more money last year. It just doesn't happen. So there is a reason for the past and knowing what you spent in the past, but it's a quick reason. It's a quick glance, just like when you look in the rearview mirror, it's just a quick glance to see where you came from and if it's safe, and to move forward. Spend your time planning your future spending. And that's one thing that I will introduce you to today. Okay, lifestyle. Okay, lifestyle. We all want a lifestyle, but I'm going to break it up. And the first one is your life costs. Okay, we all know the basics that we need to do. And especially, and I just say this to parents, if you are a parent, it is your responsibility, number one responsibility, make sure that your children have a place to live, have food, have clothing, and have the very basic things. Not all the stuff that they want is the things, the basic things. And of course, love is a huge one. But then I go a lot further than that in life costs, is we need to then have money for the unexpected. What happens if one of your children gets sick, really sick, and need a big surgery, and you need to come up with some money for that? You need to have money for those emergencies, whether they be sick where they need antibiotics, or whether they be big, or they be your own. So you need to have some savings for that unexpected. You also have to have put money away for what you really want, because we don't work just for paying bills. Okay, we want to be able to enjoy getting things that we want. We also have to look at long-term replacement things. Okay, there are things that need replacing. Just because you bought it once in your life doesn't mean it needs replacing, and so we need to think about those type of things. And then there's the future. So those are, to me, all the basic things you need to decide. When you get your money, you need to put money into all those areas first before you decide what kind of style you want, what size home you have, what kind of car you drive, how many times you go out to eat, and how many holidays you go on, or where you go on holidays, or whatever it is. The life costs are priority number one, and then number two. Unfortunately, a lot of people choose their style first and then complain because they can't support their life costs or their bills or their future. And so first things first, what I teach is I teach money truths, and I teach you to be honest with your money. And this is a money truth, is first things first, back to the basics. Okay, so going on from that is, yes, you need to know it. Make sure you pay for the very basic needs. Now, basic needs, many of us have learned, especially in 2020 and some still in 2021, what you can live on when you don't have money coming in. Okay, many people lost their income in 2020 and they realized, wow, I can survive on a lot less. And so that's what we need to do, is know what your basic needs are and what that costs you. And then you need, again, to have what your real wants are. You need to have a why. You need to know why you're going to be better. Because if you don't, you will end up wasting a lot of money on what you think you want. Okay? That impulsive spend, oh, what's a little few dollars here? Oh, coffee every day, that's only $4.50. What's that? You know, $4.50 over a year is a lot of money. That would get you probably on a holiday. So we need to make sure that you don't use all your money for your wants so that you don't get what you really want. So that's really, really important. So do you have a budget, or do you have a spending plan? Do you know where you're going to spend your money in the future, or do you let your money, or is your money in control of you? So I'm going to talk about the 6 expense types. There are 6 different ways that we spend our money. No matter how you spend your money, you can fit it into one of these. Okay, and the first one is your weekly expenses. That's your pay cycle expenses, where it covers your food, your fuel, your petrol, a little fun, and some little small incidentals. And you, the second one is your regular predictable bills. Now that is your bills, your electricity, your rent, all those things. Plus it's also your other predictable expenses. Okay, those are predictable, regular bills that you know, basically you know how much it is, how often you pay it, and when it's due next. Okay, and then the third time is your product purchases. That's your needs and your wants. Now, Lee, can you hear a piano in the background? Okay, just hold 1 second. I am recording. I am live recording. No piano, please. Sorry about that. I love it when my children play the piano, when they rarely play the piano. But being in lockdown, I've heard her play a lot lately.
It's Murphy's Law. We all understand. Carry on.
So anyway, she can resume when we're done. Okay, so then we have our product purchases. Those are things that we need, things that we want. Then at this point is when a lot of us put our head in the sand and realize that the things we buy, some things we actually need to repair, and then eventually sometimes we need to replace them. So we need to have a plan for that. And that's all our future spending that we need to make a plan for, as well as our once in a lifetime occurrences. Okay, so I'm going to show you just visual. I'm very visual. So I'm going to show you some pictures of what these are. So we have our weekly expenses, which is our food, fuel, fun, and small incidentals. Then we have our bills, or regular expenses. So of course we have all our regular, what we know as bills, but we have all our regular expenses, like, you know, getting your hair done, your gym membership, buying your family gifts. There's just lots of different things that we regularly spend our money on that you know. Then we have the things we need and want, whether they be little or small. And then again, this is where we put our head in the sand and forget that we need to repair them and then eventually replace them. Okay, do you have in your passports? Okay, that if you travel, that's an important thing. And if you don't have it, then when it comes time for that to be renewed, that's a lot of money that will add to the cost of your holiday. And then our once in a lifetime things that happen and that usually cost a bit and we need to save for. So the thing with all of these, and what I'm going to introduce to you a concept is timing. Each of these things are spent at different times and different durations of your life. So we have your weekly expenses, they're within your pay cycle. Okay, whether you get paid weekly, whether you get paid fortnightly, monthly, and hopefully that's about it. So those all happen within a short period of time. Then we have our bills. Now your bills will all happen within 12 months generally, okay? And so those happen within 12 months. Then the things we need and want, those happen various times. Our repairs, hopefully that doesn't happen too often. So that can just happen when that happens. And those are your basic necessity little emergencies. And then we have our replacements. That usually, when you replace things, it could be from over a year to 10 years. I'm still waiting for my washing machine to die. And it's been going for 32 years. And then we have our once in a lifetime things, and those things happen just once in a lifetime. So I'm going to talk to you about how you can protect your money from you. Now, the chances of anyone coming into your home and stealing your money is very little. But the chance of you stealing your money or sabotaging your budget or spending plan is really big. Okay, and so what I'm going to talk to you about is an effective bank structure that will protect your money from you. And this is something that the banks will not tell you. When I had one of my clients go with this visual that you'll see and go to the bank and say, hey, I want to set up my bank accounts like this. They said, where did you get that? And they said, oh, from my spending planner. And they said, well, that's how we set up our bank accounts, but we don't tell our customers that. And said, you need to stick with her. And so that was very interesting. And I want you to kind of think why you think they don't want us to protect our money from us. How is that going to pad their pockets? Okay, so I'm first going to talk to you about the three pigs and the big bad wolf, because that's how the analogy I use. So we have the three pigs. We knew pig with the straw. So again, this is all related to timing. So we have the straw, the pig that built the straw house. Straw is flimsy. So that's going to be for that spending that is within your pay cycle. It goes in and it goes out. And then we have your bills. And you'll notice here that the money, we have money going in, your income going into the bill account, not your spending account, where generally most people have it going into their spending account, and then they transfer it to the bills. But that's the wrong priority. We need to do priority first is to make sure our bills are paid. So the straw house, the money stays in there longer. So here it does. It stays in like up to 12 months. All those things occur within 12 months. And we have our savings. And the savings can be in there for a while if we're saving for something, especially like a home deposit. And so that's the big house. Then we have the big bad wolf. And the big bad wolf, as we know, can do a lot of destruction. He came, the first and second pig and third pig didn't know he was coming. But as we know, there are things in life that happen that we don't see coming. We did not see COVID coming. How many were prepared? Were you prepared? Thankfully, we were prepared. We had what we call a big bad wolf account that had money there for the unexpected, so that we did not have to rely on the government or anybody else to maintain our basic essential lifestyle, our life costs. So the big bad wolf is an account to protect you against his visits. He will visit. It's not if he will visit, it's when he will visit. And whether it be small or big, he will come, and we need to have a defense with that. So in regards to the 6 expenses, I'm going to show you an effective bank structure. So we have our 6 expense types, which you'll see on the left, and you'll see there's 6 accounts, but we're going to focus mainly on 4 of them, which are the most basic ones to protect your money from you. Okay, so we have the bill account, we have the FFFI, which stands for food, fuel, fun, and incidentals. We have the Bad Wolf, we have the savings account, we have the long-term savings, and we have the emergency fund. And you'll notice that each of them have a purpose. Okay, do your accounts have a purpose? Or do you sometimes pay bills out of this account and sometimes out of this account, and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul in your accounts? With my accounts in the structure, every account has a very clear purpose. If you don't have a clear purpose, then money's going to leak out of your accounts and you're not going to be able to manage it well. So you'll see here that the FFFI is for those weekly expenses. Okay, so let me just go to the first account, which is the bill account. That is your primary bank account. That's the one that your income should be going into. And with the spending plan that I'm going to talk to you about, it will determine how much you need to keep in there. I started a spending plan 18 years ago in 2003 because I wasn't happy with traditional budgeting. I wasn't being able to really save money like I wanted to. I was able to pay my bills some of the time, most of the time, but there was still some errors in there. And so the money, your income goes into your bill account, and then the software that I teach, which is only $10 a month, it tells you how much you need to keep in the bill account, and then by telling you how much you can then send everywhere else. So again, it goes to first things you need to make sure your bills are paid first. Then, and you'll see here that we don't carry that card with us. Why? Because the money account is basically already spent, even though it's saving there for all your bills for the next 12 months, because every week it lets you know how much you need to keep in there, so that everything's going to be covered for the next 12 months. And again, that's not just bills, that's all your regular expenses. So we don't want to be carrying that card around, because if you're having a weak day or you see this cute pair of shoes or whatever, you might use that and think, oh, what's a few dollars? No, a few dollars is a few dollars that can bring you money stress. So that part we leave at home. So how do we spend money that's in there? Like if you have your hair in there and you allotted $60, we transfer that to the FFI. So, yep, here's just your bills account. Again, those are just bills, but we have all expenses. We need to get our head out of the sand and really look at how we spend our money and what we spend our money on, because putting your head in the sand does not bring financial peace. It's only, it will all catch up to you. So know what your costs are, know and realize there are unexpected costs. And once you be 100% honest and true about your finances, that's when you will really start to be successful. So again, a budget is useless in the sense that it's dealing with just income and expenses, and you'll see what it's lacking, which you can see there as a hint. Another reason for a bill account is having all your bills in one account, in being paid from one. So you're saving for all your bills in one account. So the money leverages off each other. You actually are borrowing for maybe a bill you're saving that doesn't come for 10 months, but you have a bill today. And so you're kind of borrowing your own money. And an important thing with that is a lot of people pay their bills in installments or monthly instead of annually. Okay, with the spending plan, you don't have to do that. And you don't ever want to give your money away too early. You don't want to pay it late. You want to pay it just on time, because you want to use your own money to leverage paying your expenses. Okay, the second one is the FFFI. That's food, fuel, fun, and incidentals. You'll see that has a debit card. It's out of the bill account, so you don't carry your bill account around to buy food. It has its own card. It has its own parameter. As you notice, they all have their own boundaries. And with this account, you spend until it's gone. So if you decide how much you're going to give yourself, say $300 a week, that's going to pay for your food and your fun and your fuel. And once that's gone, you stop spending. Okay, you have to give your thing because we can waste a lot of money in this account. So that's the FFFI. I also help people plug the leaks in their spending, have a meal plan. Okay, eating out is very expensive. Plan for it if you want to, but it shouldn't be a regular thing. And to reduce your debt, call all your service providers and ask for a better deal. If you don't ask, the answer is always a big no. If you ask, 90% of the time they will say yes and give you a better deal, but you have to ask. And so I talk about a lot of different ways that you can get your basic expenses as little as possible. Okay, now we're going to go to the big bad wolf. The big bad wolf is for those unexpected expenses. You need a plumber. Most Australians do not even have $400 in a savings account for the unexpected if they needed to get a plumber in. That's really sad. And so we need money, and that's what this account is for. Any medical expenses and things, we need to have money for that. If you get in a car accident and it's your fault, you have an excess. That you need your car to get to work. So that's another reason to use your Big Bad Wolf account. As you see, all these things and the reasons we use our Big Bad Wolf account is for life costs, not style costs, but they're all about your life costs. Okay, and let's go on to the long-term savings. What is long-term savings? It is for the replacement items. Okay, we all have a fridge, we all have those things in our home, computer. They're not going to last forever. I'm very lucky that my washing machine, I got it a year after we were married, and we've been married 32 years, and it's still going. Yet I've had the money, $1,000 that I decided it would be to replace. I've had the money in my long-term savings for years now. It's just sitting there waiting. Now, I could be a bad spender and think, oh, put my head in the sand and spend that money. No, because then when I need that, then I'm not going to have the money. And so this is for your long-term replacement items. A little bit every week over time will work. My husband just called me, and in 10 years, he'll be retiring. He has a company car. And so he called me, he goes, Sherri, it's time to put into our spending plan a car. Because once he retires, he won't get a company car anymore. And I have my car. And so over 10 years, the plan will tell me just how many few dollars a week I'll need to put away so that by the time he retires, we'll have like $30,000 to buy a car that will hopefully then see us out. So this brings a lot of peace of mind. This one and the Big Bad Wolf. In fact, all of them do, but these ones really do, because these are the accounts that people go into debt for or raid their savings and don't get what they really want because they didn't plan for these things. Okay, our savings account is for those things that we really want. And so it's really important to have that. Emergency fund. An emergency fund is a Big Bad Wolf account on steroids, or known as the COVID account. So those big things like you lose your job, you lose your income, you can't work for a while, whatever, those really big expenses, you really need this expensive surgery and you need a lot of cash, and that's where the emergency fund, that is, if you are an employee, then you need to have at least 3 months worth of your basic essential costs in an account so that if anything ever happens, then at least you could survive on the very bare bone basics for 3 months. If you own a business, it needs to be 6 months because they're not as stable. Okay, so that's your emergency account. So here's the accounts. This is how you protect your money from you. You have purpose for every account. And you carry one card with you, and that is your FFFI card. If you need money from the bills account, say if you do your hair is in there, or you're getting your hair done every 3 months, then right before you go to the hairdresser or right before you pay, you know you budgeted $60, you transfer $60 to your FFFI from your phone, and you pay with that card. So you never have to carry the bills account card. For your savings accounts, of course, you don't have cards, and you would have to do that anyway. So you would transfer money from that account to your FFFI and pay for that repair or that plumber that comes. So that is the way you protect your money, and covering all the 6 ways that we will spend our money. Okay, so budgeting is broken because it only shows you it is possible to pay your bills. Budgeting is income and expenses. Okay, and it focuses a lot on income and, of course, where, but it doesn't show you how to pay your bills. Where with a spending plan, it is 3D and it compares income and expenses, but we focus more on your expenses because no matter how much money you make, if you have more expenses that go out, then it's never an income problem. It's always an expense problem. And again, we saw that with COVID. So the third dimension that a spending plan has that a budget does not equate is timing. So a spending plan is like seeing your future, it's planning your future spending in the next year and even up to 30 years, spending how you're going to spend your money, make a conscious effort because you spend it anyway. So let's make a conscious effort how you're going to spend your money. And then the spending plan shows you, like a GPS, exactly how to follow that and achieve that. So the big difference between a budget and a spending plan is timing. And it's about time that you learned about this because it's something I've been using again for 18 years. And budgets only take you so far and they are restrictive. Where a spending plan, it's fun. My spending plan tells me it's time to spend, Sherri. It's time to go get little Johnny that gift because I plan for those expenses. Now, this is a spending plan predicts the future and shows you how to pay your expenses. So how would you feel if you knew all your bills were covered for the next 12 months, that you could put them on auto pay and you knew that when it was time to get your hair done, the money was there because you planned for it. You plan, you save, and you spend. And that's what I teach and I show you by creating a proven spending plan. So a spending plan is the answer to broken budgeting and eliminating money stress. Okay, and just kind of finishing off with the spending plan software, which again is only $10 a month, the best $10 you'll ever spend. It's all about the future. So when you see pie charts and things like that, it's about how you're going to spend your money in the future, not what you spent in the past. Because again, you can't change that. You can change your future. So if you see something that you're spending, you think, wow, I didn't know I was going to spend that much. You haven't spent it yet, so you can make a difference and change that. It tells you any day of the year what your account balances should be, the ideal account balances, so that all your things are going to be covered, something a budget cannot do because it doesn't include timing. So every dollar in a spending plan, you give a job. So here, this person has close to 9,000 remaining. They haven't given a job, and so they've decided to put it into their savings so that they can get what they really want. Giving every dollar a job is so important because if you don't, it will have a mind of its own and go walk about, and you'll wonder, where did that $9,000 go? And most people, it's around 30,000 that they wonder, where did that money go? So how much money is going to leak from your spending in the next week, 6 months, 12 months if you don't make a change? When we have a problem, as you can see here, we go to someone. I had a doctor appointment this morning because I had a problem with my feet. But why do we think that when we have a problem with our money that we don't go see someone? That is the best investment you can do, a short-term investment to empower yourself with financial knowledge so that you can be better and save thousands and thousands in the future. So are you ready to change your financial future? Or are you still holding on to that debt, or is that still your best friend? You will get ready, and for some people, they might have to have a lot of stress in order to get there. But be wise and don't wait for those times to make a change. This is my favorite saying: multiply your time and money by giving yourself emotional permission to invest time and money today for time and money tomorrow. And that's for anything in your life. Anything that you want is going to take some time. And some things take a little bit of money, but you're not going to get what you want if you don't invest. Okay, so that is my presentation. I'd love to hear if anyone's there, what lessons you learned or what aha moments or what you do of how you protect your money from you. And so I will.
If you stop sharing, that'll be great. Oh, sorry, I've had to come into my granddaughter's room to get away from all the noise.
Okay.
It'll still be there
And,
in the background.
Okay.
That was great. Thank you so much, Sherri. I just love what you do.
Let
If
me
you could
get my
just
mouse working.
Yeah. Hi, Mel. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on.
Hello, how are you?
Fine,
So just
thank you.
before I stop sharing, just as a free gift to anyone who's on here or comes on here, I give a free access to my online course, first few modules, which will go into explaining the difference between a budget and a spending plan and the benefits. And to get that access, you just I just need your email, and then I can give you access to that.
That's fabulous. I did mine the other, well, it took me a while to get through it, but I did mine, finished it yesterday. Hi, Kayleen. Nice to have you on board. So has anybody got any questions for Sherri? No? Anything?
No, she's very good at explaining things.
Oh, I just love, and I love, don't you just love the whole idea of
And-
spending plan?
Yeah.
See, I have a very low comprehension. When I read, I have to read things like 3 or 4 times to get it. So I tend to teach in the same way. I try and explain it very simply so that you get it, because money is something that we need to get, because if we don't get,
You
Yeah.
ain't got, you ain't got if you don't get.
yeah.
We'll put all the links in. I think we've already done it, but we'll put the links in the comments of both the YouTube, the event, and the meetup and this recording. So everywhere, we'll put everything in. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some spending money. What about you, Katie? You want some spending money?
I cannot see a chat box on my.
No,
And it's
I
not
don't know
showing.
why. It might be because we're streaming live. I don't know why it's no chat box. I did look because I was going to tell everybody they could ask questions as we went. We'll have to ask Rach about that. Yeah, we can all save for that nice holiday that we can't go on right now. If that's what you want, that's what I want.
Yes. Well, see, I have from our last holiday, which was now a year and a half ago, I just have an automatic amount, and it's only $50 a pay. It's not a lot, but I just automatically have it. All my finances are automated, so I don't touch it, because the more you touch your money, the more you can muck it up. So everything's automated, and we have we have enough for a couple flights now.
That's good.
So we're just waiting to be able to go.
That's
The borders will
fantastic.
be open.
I felt guilty when you were saying, you think that little bit of money for that and that little bit of money, it's only a little bit, but they all add up, don't they? And I bought a book and I went out to lunch on Sunday, so I also was thinking, what's $20 or...
And that's fine if you plan it. Because we have to plan for fun, and then you can really have fun when you know it's in your plan.
Yes. So Mel, are you already one of Sherri's clients?
Yes.
I won't.
Well, I say that because we sort of started, and then she got me all on this refinancing of the house and that sort of stuff. So I'm in the current process of doing that. So then once that's finalized, then we can come back and we can actually get started properly.
Yeah, they're different stages.
Instead of doing it all and then having to change it all because of how
So
it's
with
structured.
Mel, and I'm not a financial planner, I'm not an accountant, I'm a certified spending planner, so I am qualified in the spending plan. But if I see that someone's paying maybe too high interest rate, then I have some really trusted people say, hey, while we're setting up your bank accounts and protecting your money from you, you might want to get some advice on some way to quickly save some money. And so that's the process that she's in now, is getting a cheaper loan, as well as maybe a better bank that will serve her purposes. So yeah, so I kind of help. I specialize in this, but I can feed you out to any area that you need.
Yeah, because you're in. So I know Kayleen and I are both small business owners, and I'm not sure about you, Mel, but finances are one of our. I'm talking for you now, Kayleen. You know, one of our stresses.
Yeah, I relate.
Yeah, and I use. I found the profit first principle concept of business finance, and it is brilliant. It's all done kind of on percentages. I have a I pay myself. Plus, I also have a profit in my business that I pay myself 3 times every quarter. Because when we own a business, we own the business, but we're also the employee as well.
Yes.
So we should get as paid, but then every quarter, if things went okay, then you should be able to pay yourself. And I use my profit account for my business, Big Bad Wolf. If nothing really happened in that time, then I can take a certain percentage of that. I don't clean it out, but I can take a little bit because I manage my business well. So that's a good one. But yeah, you have to learn to keep your personal and your business separate. So vital. And so people who use a spending plan for their personal love it just as much for their business, because it shows them when they can grow their business without,
Going into debt.
Yes.
Too much debt. I think everybody needs Sherri Dumbrell in their lives, quite frankly. I know I do. Well, it's been lovely. Thank you for coming on today. And I know that quite a few people registered that obviously got caught up maybe getting COVID tests or something.
Yes.
Because of the lockdown.
Sorry, I was late. I got distracted editing videos.
That was okay. I understand totally what that's like. And Kayleen's had a busy morning, but luckily she came in. It's lovely having you all here. And
Yes.
Sherri, thank you so much for your time and effort. And everybody out there, you need to click on the links, get the free workbook and videos, and even a chat with Sherri. She'd love to chat to you and find out where you are and how you're doing. Would you like to say any last words, Sherri?
Yeah. So if you once I get your email, I can put you onto my first modules of my course, which include a financial fitness checkup, which will see whether you're financially fit or flabby. And then you'll get 25 money truths, which is an ebook of how to, and that will kind of be a summary and talk a lot about what we talked today. And then you'll also get a 30-minute financial fitness session with me to see what's your next step to becoming more financially fit.
Yeah, and I don't think people need to be embarrassed. We all, there's no judgment here. And so don't feel embarrassed. Like Sherri said, don't put your head in the sand. It's the worst thing you could do. You've got to look after yourself. And the only way to do that is share it with Sherri. She's not going to tell the world. And it's confidential between you. And don't be embarrassed. You need help. We all need help in one way or another.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend you contacting Sherri after this. And I get no commission. So just letting you all know.
And I'll just say too, a lot of people say, oh, I'm good with money or I'm great with money. Well, if you haven't seen how the spending planner works, then you don't know what you don't know. So just be curious. It doesn't cost you anything. The only thing that you'll save is eliminate any type of stress in your life about money by learning this new way of managing your money.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the live and recording and maybe we can just have a quick chat. So thanks everybody. And next week on Tuesday, we are having a spotlight speaker talking about journaling. So watch out for my events and all of that. That's somebody who, that's what she does. She helps people journal properly. So I'd love to see you there. But thanks, Sherri, and we